All right, we are ready to go ahead and get started. So, welcome. We are so excited that you are here tonight to learn a little bit more about what the experience will look like for both you as the parent as well as your children. Super excited that you're participating and part of now the Career Camp Atlanta family. My name is Dr. Brian Kiefer. I am the CEO and founder of Career Camp. And tonight we are going to be going over multiple things to get you prepared for an amazing experience at Career Camp Atlanta in June. So, first of all, once again, welcome. Thank you for the investment in your child. Thank you for the investment in Career Camp Atlanta and seeing the value that this really provides for both you and your child as you're navigating this journey of college and career exploration. It means a lot, whether your child will tell you or not. They'll probably tell you later on down the road as they grow into their adulthood how thankful they are that they were given an opportunity to really make the right decision for not just what they want to be when they grow up, but how they want to live as an adult. So, we're going to take a little bit of time and go through our agenda for tonight. We want to introduce you to camp leadership. We're going to talk about the agenda for camp itself. We're going to go over our camp packing list, have a real quick review of camper expectations. And then we're going to open it up and have next steps before camp begins so that you are ready to go over this next 6 weeks leading up to camp itself. So, camp leadership, you've probably joined one of our information sessions prior to tonight, but the founder and the CEO of Career Camp Atlanta, that's me. This is a picture of our family back when this idea first came around. My sons, Kale and Rowan, who will both be participants in Career Camp Atlanta. And this was designed with the experience of knowing that as an educator, even I don't have the answers for what it is that my kids need to know with what careers are out there for them, what the path looks like to get to those careers and have that truly aligned to who they are. So not only for them, but for us as parents, we're all in this space. If you have gone to college in the past, this experience and this process looks really different than it did when we went through. If this is your child's first experience as a first gen kid, then there's really a lot to learn and a lot to understand. So we have worked really hard to put together a great experience that brings the experts in the field into one space, both for you as the parent and for your children. So our director of our camp is Tashira Parker Mays. She is amazing. I know her both professionally and personally. As you can see from some of the things she wanted to share with you, she herself is a first generation college student. She was named the Fulton County Schools Professional of the Year. She is a grad of Columbus State University with a degree in public administration. And highlighting her, she is an advocate for students. So, Tashira, if you'd like to say a few words of welcome.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so excited to be here and to have this first annual experience with the Campers for Career Camp ATL. I'm looking forward to everything that they will see and experience.
Awesome. Thank you, Tashira. We're really excited to have you on the team, and you will get to meet Tashira. You'll have some communications that come from Tashira between now and the start of camp, but you'll meet her when you arrive at camp on June 14th and see her again when you pick your kids up at the end of camp, or for our day campers, you'll see her every day during drop off and pickup. We also want to take a moment to introduce you to our nurse, Samantha Tilley. Samantha Tilley is a graduate of East Carolina University. 5 years as a pediatric ER nurse, 5 years as a pediatric OR at Scottish Rite. She currently serves as a nurse in Forsyth County Schools and served last summer as a camp nurse. Samantha, if you'd like to go ahead and just say hello.
Sorry, as a nurse, I am not very good with technology, but I did want to say that I am excited with these students, keeping them safe, but allowing them to learn and have so much fun during this camp.
Awesome. Thank you, Samantha. We're really excited to have someone with your expertise that's going to be making sure we are taking very good care of our kids. And when we reach later on in our presentation today, we're going to talk about the medical forms and what that looks like for you, parents, so that you can make sure that she has all the information she needs and you have everything on the front end to prepare her to best serve your child. So our camp agenda, as you can see, and you've seen this in the past, this is also on our website, and you will get another copy of this as a separate document emailed to you this week. Sunday, that's when we kick off, June 14th. So 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. is our camper arrival and check-in, and that is for all of our overnighters so we can get you all settled into the dorms. That will then be that time for families. You get to go right into the dorms and get your child set up in their room. You'll get to meet their counselor and get an overview of the expectations of what that looks like and meet them and just connect with them in that way. Then our parent empowerment workshops are going to begin. So after we get your kids settled, you're going to come over into the space and we'll give you the exact location of that a little closer to camp so that you don't lose that in the mix. But we have a really exciting evening of parent empowerment workshop set up for you. That's going to be folks who are coming in from Georgia Futures to talk about all the things there is to know from a parent perspective about scholarships and grants, federal programs that are out there to support kids in this journey. And they are an arm of the Georgia Finance Commission. So these really are the experts in this area. While that's happening, our campers are going to engage in their orientation. So for our day campers, we do encourage you, parents of day campers, bring your child on Sunday so that while you're at the parent empowerment workshop, your child also is part of the camper orientation. When that ends at 6:30, our campers who are overnighters will then have dinner on campus. And then we have an evening of fun activities planned for them to connect to the camp and really just set the tone for what's going to be a great experience for them. Monday and Tuesday are the days that we will have our campus visits. You are going to receive a document this week that will show you the different universities that are available in each one of the windows of time for you to make your selections. And again, we honor your selections by making sure that what you're choosing is an informed decision and that it aligns to what the kids are excited about. So you'll have a little bit of extra information, parents, that come to you with that so you can help them with that selection because these are emailed directly to our parent email addresses. So they'll make those selections. For our day campers, your drop-off time, parents, that is 8:30 to 9 a.m. at Oglethorpe's campus. We'll send you a map that shows you exactly where that location is. It's the same location that our check-in will be on Sunday. So same spot every day. That will be your drop-off location. And then from those 9:30 to 12 o'clock window, that's the first window of career exploration at the different college campuses. We'll serve all the kids lunch between 12 and 1, and that may take place at different locations with our partner universities. Some kids will have the chance to have lunch in those food halls at the different universities, so they don't just get a chance to visit the school and do the career workshop work. They also get a chance to dine there so they can check out what that experience is like. We then transport kids to their second career exploration workshop, their second college that they're choosing. That's in the afternoon on Monday. We'll bring them back to Oglethorpe University's campus, and the same place where you drop them off is the same place where you pick them up. And that window of pickup for our day campers is 4:30 to 5. Our dinner then will be served for our overnight campers from 5:30 to 6:30. And then starting at 6:30, that's when they'll engage in the evening activities that are on campus. Or if your child has signed up for an evening excursion, that's when we put them on a bus and we take them to those locations. We repeat the exact same thing on Tuesday, with the exception of a different college campus for the morning. So your third college campus selection. We repeat where we have them eat lunch. They'll then be transported to their fourth college selection that you'll see in your choices. And then we'll bring them back to Oglethorpe University's campus where once again 5:30 to or 4:30 to 5 o'clock is our day camper pickup time. And then Tuesday night, same thing. We have another set of evening activities for our kids that stay on campus. And for those that chose the evening excursions, we'll transport them to that for that experience. And then on Wednesday, our final day of camp, that's when we'll have the overnight camper breakfast time in the morning. Once again, same time for our day campers for drop off, 8:30 to 9. And then we have a day of exploring Oglethorpe University's campus and their workshops. And then we also are going to do a wrap up that has them reflect on their experience and then create their plan. What am I going to do with this knowledge that I now have? And what now is what I think might be my career fit? What now am I most interested in as it relates to a campus that maybe I visited that I hadn't thought about before? So we want to be able to know that and help kids then make their plan as they move beyond the camp experience. and then they'll come back, pack up the dorms, and parent pickup will be at noon on Wednesday. And again, I will send this to you separately so you have this as a separate document. To remind you about the Parent Empowerment Workshop partners, this has really come together nicely. We're actually setting up a panel with our college admissions folks. So for all those who are part of that parent workshop, we really encourage all of you to come to that because it's great information that's really going to help you as the parent navigate what this journey looks like. So the panel will consist of the admissions teams from Georgia Tech, University of Georgia, and Kennesaw. They're going to be responding in a panel. And then after their time is done during the session, they'll also be available for individual questions that you may have to ask or that you're interested in learning more about. Georgia Futures will be there. They'll talk all about the things that you need to know about finance, understanding your kid's current GPA and what that looks like, what that means. And then you'll also have a space where the folks from Find Your Grind will be presenting to you. We've talked a little bit about the fact that they have access to an online platform for a whole year beyond just the camp experience. And they're going to walk you through how to access that, what that looks like, and how, as a parent, you can keep your kids engaged in this career exploration. On to College will join us, and they're going to talk about SAT and ACT prep because higher scores on those assessments at the end of their high school journey unlock a lot of great scholarship and grant opportunities, and they have a proven recipe for success. So they're going to share their information with you as well. Our packing list. You'll get this in a separate document as well, but you can also start to think about it now. So this outlines the clothing that kids should bring. It outlines toiletries. There have been some questions that parents have asked, can my child bring their cell phone? We encourage that. We want kids to take pictures. We want them to remember their experience by taking pictures of the workshops, of the things that really jumped out at them when they visited the campus, of their friends that they're making at camp, and just to be able to share that with you so that you are also aware of what's going on with your kids and being able to know a little bit more and just keep in touch with your kids. Refillable water bottle, snacks, a backpack, label everything. We don't want kids to have their stuff mixed up when they're sharing a dorm room potentially, or if they're just out and about and something gets lost, we want to be able to make sure we get it back to them. There's also the question that's come around about linens for the overnight folks. So while the beds are provided and dorm rooms are provided, they are stripped down. So you are required as a parent to send your child with either twin size sheets and blankets and a pillow, or if you prefer to just send them with a sleeping bag, that is completely up to you. Towels are also the responsibility of the campers and their family. So this packing list, once again, will be sent separately to you so you have it as you prepare everything that you drop off with your child who are doing the overnight experience. When you registered, you did already have this information shared with you, but we wanted to touch on it tonight just as a reminder. We want, and our responsibility is to make this camper an amazing experience for every one of our campers. You've invested financially in this experience for your kids, and we are very serious about the level of expectation that you have of us and that we intend to deliver. And the last thing that we want to have happen is for the behavior of any of our campers to get in the way of that for the other campers that are there. So as a reminder to what you've already signed off on, we're not going to be in a space where any form of disrespect towards staff or peers or the folks that we visit on the college campuses is something that we're going to accept. Any form of bullying or harassment, possession of weapons or prohibited substances, because we want to make this a perfect experience for every one of our kids. And we do expect them to meet the expectations that we have. Campers are responsible for your own belongings. We had a couple parents said, well, are there TVs in the rooms? There are not TVs in the rooms. And they said, well, can we send them with one? That is your discretion. If you choose to send them with a TV, if you choose to send them with a game system, you're permitted to do that. But please understand that that is doing so at your own risk and at the risk of potential damage. And we are not responsible for any damage that were to happen in that. So please have a conversation with your child and just help them be reminded of the fact that they're representing you when they come to this camp. And the last thing that any parent of a camper wants is a phone call that says, "We need you to come and pick up your child." We know we don't want to get there. We're highly confident that your children are going to be amazing and they're going to be respectful. But if we get to that point, we do have to make it clear that our responsibility is for every one of our campers to have a great experience, and we don't want anybody's behavior to get in the way of that. So please help us by having that conversation with your child ahead of time, because our goal is to provide this meaningful, safe, and fun experience for every one of our campers. So what are the next steps for you? So the following are to be completed by the dates that we have listed. I am going to send you a separate email with all of these dates laid out very clearly. You will receive all this in an email no later than Wednesday. It probably will be tonight if I can finish putting the final touches to it, but it'll definitely be by Wednesday. We are going to send you a medical form that is going to ask you your child's medical history so that we have full documentation of everything, so that Nurse Sam has everything that she needs to be able to best serve your child. You'll also receive a separate medical document or a medication form should your child require any medication to be distributed and administered during the course of our camp. Now, this isn't just prescription medication. This is any form of medication that would be administered to your child that not only has to have a form that says that you give permission for the administration, but the medication itself has to be provided by the parents. That includes things like Advil, that includes things like an allergy medication, if that's something that you want to be proactive and have on hand for your child. That is something that we do not provide because that's a liability on the form of us as the camp. So if there's anything that you want to make sure that your child has access to while they're with us, we would ask that you please complete that medication form and that you would also provide the medication at drop-off. Second piece that you need to complete. We, as making this a meaningful experience as we can for kids, we want to make sure that what they're choosing when they make their decisions about which campuses to visit and which career workshops to engage in is done from a place where they are best informed about who they are and what really brings them joy. So we have something called the Find Your Grind Lifestyle Assessment. You're going to receive information about how to access that lifestyle assessment. And we would ask that you please have your child complete that lifestyle assessment first before making the decisions about which campuses and which career workshops to engage in. Because what that lifestyle assessment may reveal is that what they think they want to do may not necessarily be the path that actually will help them find joy and fulfillment in their career. This may also unlock some things that they didn't even know were careers that were available to them. And they now will have the opportunity to explore those while they're with us at camp. So we'd ask that you have your students and you can sit with them and watch them do this and see how they respond. It's really informative. I did this with both of my boys too. And they started off, my youngest had a very clear idea of what he thought he wanted to do. My oldest, this is for your non-decided child. If your kid is like, I have no idea what I want to do, this is a great fit for him too, because this now started him down a path that said, here are some recommended potential career paths that you could explore. And based on that, he is looking at what the menu can be and which ones he's going to learn more about at the career workshops that he didn't even think about prior to this. So it's really important that they complete that lifestyle assessment first and then complete the career workshop selections. So that's a very important piece, and I can't stress that enough. So we do need those responses back from you all, because that then goes into us creating the bus and the transportation arrangements that we need to make sure that your children are transported to the right locations based on their selections. So again, all of these will come in separate instructions that I'll put in the email for you. We do have an update regarding the optional evening excursions. We have just been informed that the College Football Hall of Fame has a competing interest. And if you are not already aware of this, the World Cup is coming to Atlanta. And the World Cup is bringing literally hundreds of thousands of people from all across the world to our doorstep. And one of those very large groups of hundreds of thousands of people who has a lot more pull, unfortunately, than our camp, has reserved the College Football Hall of Fame for the same evening that we had made our reservation. So we were bumped. For the 7 folks who had chosen that as their optional evening excursion, I'll be reaching out to you separately to ask you what you want to do. You have the option of switching to the other evening excursion that event or that evening, which is the Georgia Aquarium Tour. You have the option of applying it to one of the Tuesday evening excursions if that's your child's choice, or you have the option of being refunded for that if that's something that you would like to go down that path. So I will email the 7 people separately who engaged in that, and you'll get that information. Another exciting update. So there's good news and bad news, right? So that was the bad news. Let's go to the good news. For the Atlanta Braves game, it's actually a special evening night that they're making available on that night. And that is that if you choose the Atlanta Braves game, you also get to celebrate that it's Atlanta Braves SpongeBob night. And every one of the kids who chooses that goes home with that Atlanta Braves SpongeBob specialty jersey. And that is included in the price of the evening excursion. That's an option that maybe informs your decision if that's something your kids want to do. I do see that we have a question that's in the chat about how do we choose the excursions. If you missed that when you did the initial registration, all you have to do is go back into the account that you created. And when you open up your specific account, you just go further down the page where you made your initial selection of the camp, and you'll have the option to choose the excursion that you want to add at this point, and then that'll give you the billing information for that as well. So the absolute deadline for our evening excursions is June 1st. So you have time to make some decisions if you wanted to add one on that you didn't when you did your initial registration. But again, for those College Football Hall of Fame folks, I'm going to be emailing you separately, and you will get the opportunity to make your decision with what you want to do about that. And again, my apologies for that. But apparently, when you rent out the entire place with like 500 people, that trumps the size of our camp, which it's a once in a lifetime opportunity that the World Cup's coming to Atlanta. So we're as understanding as we can be. And so that is the conclusion of our orientation piece that we have for you tonight. An overview that we were able to provide you with introducing you to our leadership, talking about our schedule and our itinerary for each one of the days, your next steps, and the follow-up that you will receive via email. We also know that there were parents who did not have the opportunity to join this live, which is why we recorded this session. And we will be sending the recorded session to all of our registered parents in case you get 2 days, a week, 2 weeks down the road, and you're like, wait a minute, what was I supposed to do? You'll have the opportunity to go back and review this session that we had for you tonight. So at this point, I am going to stop sharing my screen and I will open it up if there are any questions that anyone has at this point. If you just throw those in the chat, and we will be happy to answer those for you. When and how do you provide details about specific roommates if your child is attending with someone she knows? So when you receive the email that I'll be sending, that'll be one of the elements to it as well. We've had a lot of our parents when they registered their child that said, hey, we want to make sure that you know that we would request this roommate situation. If for some reason you did not share that with us yet, there'll be an opportunity with one of the pieces on that Google form that will give you the chance to put down the name of someone who you would prefer to be roommates. Another question we have, if they develop a connection to a particular school on the tours, will they receive contact information? Yes. One of the things that the universities do is when a child chooses their university, like for example, when we have all of our kids who select a university like an Emory, we give Emory the specific information that lets them continue to communicate with you. And you can shut that down whenever you want to, but that does give them that opportunity. And for our parents, we'll also give you the direct contact at that university if your child chose that university, so you can also choose from your end to grow the connection from what your child experienced when they went and visited that campus. What does pickup on Wednesday look like? So, great question. Pickup's probably more important than the drop off. So the drop off, obviously, when your child comes, we would ask the parent to stay alongside their child until we get them checked in. We have a list of all of our day campers. For our pickup, we utilize the documentation you provided about on registration about the parent, who is the primary point of contact for each family. If for any reason you see that there may be somebody else that might need to pick up your child, then we would have that. That's also going to be part of the form that you'll complete when I email that to you this week, of any other possible folks who would be picking up your child from day camp. So if you think about it like a school setting, you're given that form in the beginning of the year that says who's allowed to pick your child up, and we would be cross-checking the list of the names that you provided, and we will be asking them for photo ID. We don't want to hand a child off to somebody who is not on that list, who says they're somebody. We need to see the photo ID of that person to verify the safety of the handoff for that child. When will we find out what emergency protocols are for evacuations, for family emergencies, injuries? Sorry, this is overlapping with something else that's on my screen. For evacuations, family emergencies, etc. Yes. So every one of the universities that we are using, and primarily with Oglethorpe, because that's where we have the overnight, they have their set of protocols for evacuations, family emergencies, injuries, etc. So we will be sharing their protocols because we are on their campus as their guests. We want to make sure that the research and all the things that they've put in place we are following. If there is anything that comes up, we are immediately contacting families through the contacts that you've provided upon registration. So you really want to make sure that what you listed, including emails, including cell phone numbers, is accurate, because that's exactly how we will contact you in the event of anything happening or anything that needs your attention. Can campers drive themselves? As long as they have a driver's license and a vehicle, yes. Of course, that's something that you have the opportunity to do. We know that some of our kids have that ability, and so yes, that can make life a little bit easier for you. So yes, we do have that, and yes, they can park on campus, and there will not be a problem with that. Is there security in the dorms? Yes, there is. Oglethorpe is a great partner. That's why we chose Oglethorpe out of all the university campuses that we visited around Atlanta. Their security will be heavily present in the dorms. They'll be present at the entrance to the dorms. All of the dorms have sealed or locked exterior doors that cannot be accessed from the outside. There's only one point of entry to the entire dorm, and that will be staffed by security. And we will have our counselors who are actually in the space with the kids in rooms that are right next door to the campers' rooms themselves. Great questions. Do we have any other questions that we are wanting to know? All right, so that is the conclusion of the questions. And again, we're an email and a phone call away. Should you have any other questions about anything, whether it's registration processes, whether it's adding on the evening excursion, whether it's anything that you run into with the forms or choosing the universities, anything that you run into, we are a phone call or an email away. Please feel free to utilize that. Use us. We are here to make this an amazing experience for your kids and for you. And we don't want anything before camp to trip you up along the way. We want to make this a smooth and enjoyable experience as possible. So thank you. We appreciate your trust in us with making a great experience for your kids. I am beyond excited to meet you all. I think it's super exciting. Just so you know, we have 61 campers who have committed to us this year to being part of this experience. And that is awesome. We know that you're investing in your child's future, and we take it seriously. And so the experience is going to be like no other. So thank you again for your time tonight. We appreciate it. Again, you'll get this emailed to you as soon as we wrap up tonight, and we can't wait to see you on June 14th. Thank you for choosing Career Camp Atlanta, and we will see you all soon.